Hello, welcome back to the Cricket Nerds, the growing platform that is the Cricket Nerds. On track for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for the continued support. Today we're going to be talking about the ridiculous game. England end the day on, what was it? I've lost it now. Is it
506 for 4?
Ridiculous.
75 overs.
Oh, yeah, reduced overs as well for bad
Hmm.
light. 506 for 4. So this is the first. This is the highest ever first day total. England batsmen got more centuries that weren't Joe Root than they did in the whole of 2021. In this first day, obscene, absolutely insane. We're going to talk about it. So yeah, lads. First things first. The pitch. It's a little bit of a road, I'd say. A little, not much in it for the bowlers.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they played on a very similar pitch earlier this year when Australia were there,
Yeah.
and it was about 250 after day one, and England have scored twice that many. And they were saying that in the commentary. They were talking about how it's a sort of pitch. How I think it was at lunch. They'd say, "Oh, you'd say you'd had a good start if you were 90 odd without loss." England were 180 without loss at lunch. That's the difference, really, is that England have just batted in a different gear and not really doing too much risk. I don't think there wasn't much where I was like, oh, they could give their wicket away here. There was none of that. We've seen that before with England. We've seen England bat on roads and lose wickets because they're playing stupid. England weren't playing stupid. They were playing fun, aggressive cricket. And I think it shows that England do have talented players. That talent just hasn't been generated in the right way. And it's meant that people like Ben Duckett, Zach Crawley, and Harry Brook, who are three of the players who you'd be like, well, they're probably the worst of England's top six, have been outstanding. So
what I want to compare it to is the first test in Perth, Australia, that's been going on between Australia and the West Indies, where Australia have also scored over 500. They have declared on 598 for 4 on a pitch at Perth against the West Indies. How many overs do you think they batted for 594 runs?
I'm going to say more than 75.
Yeah.
They have batted for 152.4 overs to get to that, which, in a standard test match, you would say that's a great score. Like, if England batted for 152 overs at this rate, they'd score over 1,000 runs. Like, it just puts it into perspective as like this game versus what we normally expect to see in test match cricket. Now, I am a bit worried, I have to say, because we also have to bowl on this pitch as well. It is a pitch that is giving nothing to the seamers and also nothing to the spinners.
Yeah. So I definitely think that it's an absolute road, like we've said. But I also think, why on earth have teams not played like this when there is nothing in it for the bowlers before? Why have no teams batted like this? Because, to win a test match, you need to take 20 wickets. To take 20 wickets on a really difficult pitch to bowl on, you need to give yourself a lot of time. And England are doing that. If they wanted, they could declare right now and give themselves 4 days to try and take as many wickets as they can. And they've still got another innings. So, I mean, I don't think they should. I think they should keep on going, really put the foot down. Keep the foot down and just, try and get a huge score, get a bit of scoreboard pressure. And they've given themselves as much time as possible to really get the wickets that they need. I think inadvertently, Ben Folkes being ill has meant that they will have Will Jackson as well, who also made his debut, as well as Liam Livingstone. We haven't seen them yet, but it's exciting. And it does mean that there's another bowling option there. Does mean that Ollie Pope's behind the stumps, which hopefully he has a very good game, because you don't want to miss any opportunities. You don't want to miss chances on this kind of track. But absolutely incredible performance from England. I think we saw the second and fourth fastest hundreds, or joint fifth fastest hundreds today.
By Englishmen, yeah.
By Englishmen, yeah. And one thing I did notice was Ben Duckett, when he went out, more so than all of the others, he was gutted. He looked absolutely distraught. To say he just scored his maiden ton in a comeback after, what was it, 6 years out of the England side. He was really gutted, and I think he knew what scores he needed to get his average up. I think he knew that.
Maybe.
He knew that he was about 20 odd runs short of getting his average over 30. And to be honest, he looked like he could have got his average over 40. He looked like he was in really good nick, and so did all of them. But
I do think that as a batsman, you can get frustrated. Like when you're playing a scratchy innings and you feel like you could get out any moment, and then when you get out, that is frustrating. But it's more frustrating when you're feeling good, and then you get out because you feel like you haven't cashed in. And he has cashed in. He's made a big score, but yeah, he could have got loads on that pitch. I think that's the feeling he had. So yeah.
So the only person so far that has gone out without making a ton has been Joe Root, which is something I wasn't expecting to say. And I think Root will just be mad at himself for leaving. I mean, this is Root. He's left like 200 runs out there, realistically. But that's a shame for him. I don't think it means anything. I've seen a few people read into it a bit too much, saying,
really,
"Oh well, Root's trying to, he's trying to go too quickly. He's trying to be too aggressive." And I just think have a day off.
I'm not mad about England going quickly though, and like trying to go through the motions and play aggressive from early on, especially with the depth in batting that we have. Like Liam Livingstone carded at number 8 is ridiculous. Like he's an out and out batter in my eyes in red ball. Like him being at number 8 almost is in as a bowling all rounder. That's what that number 8 spot is for traditionally. He's in effect our main secondary spinner in this test match.
I wouldn't say that's ridiculous though. I wouldn't say that he is an out and out batter in red ball. Like the guy has taken, where is this? 43 wickets in 62 first-class matches. He averages 36 with the ball at an economy of 2.76. They're very good numbers. I'll grant you, he hasn't played in red ball for years. So it could be absolutely awful, but I
get that, but in red ball, you'd expect to see someone like Livingston at like a number 6 spot, and he'd be a part-time bowler. That's the role we'd expect him to play. He plays a similar role in the T20 setup. That's what we know and love from Liam Livingstone. And actually, the way that Rue got out and the way that Duckett got out today, both of them were out because they missed a sweep, right? So they were trying to play aggressively. They were trying to score runs. They were trying to put pressure on the Pakistani spinners. And I think that Joe Root has just gone out and executed the plan that's been set for him by the coaching, by Ben Stokes, by Baz McCullum. They'll have spoken about it. They'll have agreed it. And they'll be like, look, we're not going to hang around today. Look, we've got Livy at number 8. We've got batters all the way down. Normally, when you look at an England card, you've got your Ben Folkes, or your Joss Butler at number 7. That's your last recognised batter. And after that, it's your bowlers. Well, actually, we have a full-on recognised batter here in Livingstone. And it really just adds that amount of depth that we have to us. And I think that's really positive. I think that somebody like Liam Patterson-White, from Notts, I think he's definitely one to watch for the future to come and do that similar role as well. But yeah, I'm excited to see what score England can get to. I'm expecting a declaration at around 600. I expect probably. I don't think we need any more than that. Like, we definitely don't need to bat all the way through till T on day 2, because we'll have about 1,000 runs if we're going at this rate still.
Isn't that just fun?
I was going to say, I don't see
We
the problem
can.
with that, because
No.
you know, we've I saw a few news outlets and a few comments on social media saying, why have Pakistan made a track like this? It's bad for cricket, blah 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 blah. I'm like, first of all, shut up. Yeah, get rid of your
Second of all,
negativity.
shut
I'm
up.
sick of it. Second of all, also shut up. Third of all, I think these kind of tracks are good for cricket, because I think all conditions are what make Test match cricket great. You want to have varied conditions. You want, hopefully there is some change throughout the 5 days within the conditions, but it just means that you have to change your tactics. If it was an absolute green seamer, I don't think England could have gone out and done what they did today. In terms of, they couldn't have just been continually aggressive. They'd have had to absorb some pressure as well. As it stands, it was an absolute road. They could go hard, and I don't see any issue with them going and batting until T on day 2 and getting 1,000 runs, and then knocking off 20 wickets on day 3. Job done. Thank you. Let's have a beer.
I don't think you can. Like, I agree that you have to play on different pitches. I think that's the case. There kind of does have to be a bit of a fight between bat and ball there, and there was pretty much nothing for the bowlers. I think there was one ball the whole game that spun, the whole day that spun, and hardly anything's swung. The one thing we have seen a little bit of is reverse swing. So there's not been conventional swing with the new ball, but there has been a bit of reverse from Harris Ralph. And I think England are missing that because they don't have Mark Wood. He's not fit. So they're relying on Jimmy Anderson and Ollie Robinson to try and get some reverse swing. And you can only
Ben
really
Stokes is a very good reverse swing bowler as well.
Yeah, true. So we have options there. So it'll be interesting to see how England make the most of that. But I think their batting is just on a different level at the moment. We've seen England's bowling has been great for years. I've had no issues with their bowling. Yes, they might have got some tactics wrong every now and then, but what team hasn't? I think with England, with their batting, there's just a different mindset, a different approach. And for me, it's the confidence. So someone like Harry Brook, who's only playing in his second Test match, ball 4, lofting it over the covers for 6. Like, you've not seen that from England batsmen in a while. And I think that confidence of which they're going about it, just the absolute nonchalance of, like, yeah, we're just hitting 6 fours in an over. Like, it's just fun to watch, I think. And I think it's also good to watch in terms of their confidence, because if they were playing in Headingley on a green seamer, this wouldn't be the case. So we've got to enjoy it while it's there.
Absolutely. And thank you, England, for providing this entertainment. It's been a tough time being England fans for a while now, but we're reaping the rewards now. So this is great, and we do need to appreciate it when it happens. So we're going to wrap up there. I'm sure we'll be doing more podcasts and more coverage as this Test match goes on. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell your friends about us. We are on that road to 1,000 subs, and we're ever closer. Okay.
Who's going to get to 1,000 first? England in this Test match, or us?
Yeah, well, we'll see. So yeah, thank you so much for the support. You can also listen to our podcast. Follow us on social media. We are quite active on there, and it's a good laugh. So yeah, see you guys later. Goodbye.